Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are jumping straight into the ancient biblical texts to solve a centuries-old mystery. We're going to examine exactly who fulfills the incredibly strict legal and prophetic requirements of the ultimate rescuer, a figure known in the scriptures as the servant of the Lord.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a broken cosmic system, look at the prophetic title deed, meet the unexpected peacemaker, and explore the living covenant. Finally, we'll reveal the singular key and the resulting global spiritual reality. Let's get into it.
Section 1. A broken cosmic system.
To really understand this, we have to start at the very beginning. Our sources, stretching all the way from Genesis to the Psalms to the Gospel of John, paint this incredible picture of a cosmic creator. But he didn't order the universe with tools, right? He did it through the spoken word, the logos. He established these precise, perfect boundaries for everything from oceans to galaxies, literally speaking light and life into existence to overcome the darkness.
The texts put it beautifully. They declare, "He commanded, and it stood fast. He stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain." It was a highly ordered, perfect system. But, well, humanity corrupted this architecture from the inside out. And because of that, divine justice demanded an internal fix. Heaven couldn't just wave a magic wand from the outside without violating the very laws of justice the Creator himself set up. Essentially, the Creator had to enter his own corrupted system to write a localized patch.
Section 2. The prophetic title deed. To execute this internal fix, the Creator laid down a really rigorous legal framework to identify the specific rescuer. Think of it exactly like an ancient title deed. The texts in 1 Chronicles give us 3 strict filters. Step 1. The true claimant absolutely must descend from the tribe of Judah. Step 2. They have to inherit the house of David. But step 3. This is the ultimate requirement. This figure has to possess a unique, literal connection to the Creator as his son. 1 Chronicles 17 literally says, "I will be his father, and he shall be my son."
So what does this actually mean? It means that based on this exact biblical blueprint, any historical claimant who comes from a non-Davidic lineage is out. And any theology that explicitly denies divine sonship also legally and theologically disqualified by the text itself. The lock is incredibly specific.
Section 3. The Unexpected Peacemaker.
Now, human logic naturally expects a global king to be this conquering general with a massive army, right? But the texts reveal a shocking twist. Remember King David? He was actually disqualified from building God's ultimate sanctuary precisely because of the blood he shed in military conquest. He was a man of war. That means the true messianic servant has to be the exact opposite, a man of rest, a nonviolent figure who achieves victory through silent suffering and restorative justice, not by shedding the blood of his enemies.
Just listen to this description from Isaiah 42. "A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out." It's an amazing image. Instead of subjugating enemies with a sword, this servant establishes global justice through absolute gentleness and mercy. He doesn't crush the weak, he binds up their wounds.
Section 4. The Living Covenant.
So how exactly does a peaceful servant fix a structurally broken world? Well, the old Sinai covenant was a closed loop of external laws written on stone. The problem was that humanity just constantly broke those terms. And since the penalty for breaking it was death, a radically different mechanism was needed. That external law had to become an internal peace bond. And here is the theological earthquake. God tells the servant, "I will keep you and will make you to be a covenant for the people." In the ancient world, covenants weren't just signed on paper, they were cut in blood. But here, God shockingly declares that the servant won't just mediate a new legal treaty. His actual physical body becomes the living collateral. He literally is the covenant.
Section 5. The Singular Key.
Now we get to the proof. We can map these incredibly strict, ancient prophetic parameters directly onto one specific historical figure. The sources definitively demonstrate that Jesus of Nazareth is the only figure in history who fits these forensic requirements. It's a perfect lock and key match. Just look at the sources. Isaiah prophesied the servant would be silent under accusation, buried with the wicked and the rich, and numbered with transgressors. Centuries later, the gospel writers documented Jesus fulfilling every single one of these exact parameters. He answered absolutely nothing before Pilate. He was crucified between 2 thieves. He was buried in the private tomb of a wealthy man. The alignment is staggering.
The texts describe a horrifying level of physical abuse. Isaiah says, "His visage was so marred more than any man. He was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities." This violent, visceral cost of substitutionary atonement proves the servant didn't bring justice by shedding the blood of his enemies. No, he brought justice by willingly allowing his own blood to be shed, taking our collective guilt onto himself as a direct substitute. And the textual evidence just keeps stacking up exclusively for him. He was anointed by the Spirit at his baptism. He became a light to the Gentiles. He literally bore humanity's sicknesses through his healing ministry and was highly exalted following his ultimate humiliation. Because of these overlapping, highly specific constraints across the scriptures, it is an airtight case. Jesus is the singular key. Honestly, no one else even comes close to fitting this lock.
Section 6. A global spiritual reality. This singular sacrifice didn't just fulfill a localized Jewish prophecy, it triggered a massive paradigm shift for the entire human race. In Isaiah 49, God basically says it's far too small a mission, a light thing, for the servant to merely restore the tribes of Jacob. God declares, "I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth." This peace treaty was expanded to the entire world. The ethnic walls of partition were knocked down, and VIP access was given to everyone.
The sources call this the democratization of the sacred. The old paradigm was entirely defined by terrifying stone temples, super exclusive hereditary priesthoods, and endless animal sacrifices, but the new paradigm changes absolutely everything. Those rigid stone institutions replaced by everyday believers who themselves become living sanctuaries. The terrifying veil is torn, granting every single person direct, unmediated access to God as part of a completely new royal priesthood. Because Jesus offered his body once and for all, the shedding of animal blood is entirely finished. Now, sacrifices are spiritualized. You don't have to travel to a physical altar in Jerusalem anymore. Your everyday life is the altar. Presenting your physical body as a living sacrifice, offering up the sacrifice of praise, doing good, and generously sharing with your neighbor, these literally become your sacred offerings. The barrier between the secular and the sacred just completely dissolves. Which leaves us with this final profound thought to close out our explainer today. If the universe was originally spoken into existence by the Creator's word, the Logos, and believers are now his living temples offering the fruit of our lips, what untapped creative power exists in the words we choose to speak today? Since we are now living sanctuaries, could our everyday words of praise and encouragement actually be participating in that ongoing divine ordering of light over darkness? That is definitely something to think about the next time you speak.